All right, so we're on number 1 of the test. We have this equation, 5 parentheses 3 minus x. This is a minus sign, parentheses less than -2. So we have a negative plus 6. And then we have arrows pointing left and right, and then we have circles and dots. Now, easiest thing is to remember some basic notes. All right, if we have something that does not have a line under it, we use a circle. If we have something that has a line under it, we use a dot. All right, that's the first thing. So look at this. Look at your symbol. All right, that symbol is already telling you what we're going to use, circles or dots. Now we go ahead and go to y equals. So when you're typing something into y equals, I'll just do some random numbers. So you do the same thing with the numbers you have. So let's say I have something like this, and I have the less than symbol. So I have to push second math, and then push the less than symbol, number 5. That's how it comes out. And this is not the same as y'all's, so don't be typing my same numbers. Type in the numbers on the test. Oops, let's do +8, something like that. All right, so now once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and push the trace button, trace, okay? So when you push trace, you're gonna see this line is broken up. There's a line on the x-axis and there's a line on top. So you're gonna go ahead and use, for example, I'm gonna have a circle for my answer because there's no line under this one. And when the line is on top of the x-axis, that's the answer, so it's going this way, it goes to the left. So my answer would look like this. I don't know what your answers look like, but go ahead and do the same thing for yours. And that's it. Just plug it in y equals, push trace. Which way is it going? This one's going to the left. See what yours is doing. All right, let's move on to number 2. So on number 2, we have some numbers for slope, and we have a point. So on number 2, we have to remember this. We have y minus y1 equals m, parentheses x minus x1. Now it's telling us the slope is 0, so I'm gonna put m is 0. And then you have a point that it gives you. Now I'm gonna use a different point than you have. This is the one that we had on the review. All right. Now this is x1, y1. And then I'm gonna go ahead and substitute. So y minus, this is a minus sign. The y1 is a -4. Equals 0, parentheses x minus x1 is a 6. So that's our basic breakdown. Now, some things happen. 0 times anything, that's going to be 0. Because of this, 0 is in the front. Anytime you have a slope of 0, you just put a 0. Now, when I have a minus negative, it's going to be y plus 4 because we want to change it into one symbol. I don't want a minus negative. So a minus and a negative gives you a positive. Now the only problem is the y is not by itself, so the 4 needs to move to the other side. When the 4 moves to this side over here, it becomes the opposite as a -4. So my answer is y equals -4. So the reason this is confusing is because we had to change it once here because we wanted to clean it up. But then when you move it, it changes again here. So be careful with that double change. That would be my answer. Go ahead and do the same thing here. So you have the slope is 0, you have the points. Go ahead and fill it in where it belongs. This number goes here. The m number goes here. The x number goes over here. And then we just clean it up. Okay? All right. So number 3. All right, so again, you're going to put this in y equals. All right, use the symbol. And then we're going to go ahead and let me tell you, get the answer. So let's say you type it in. Again, this is just an example. Go ahead and type it in, push trace. So the way you're going to do this, all you have to do is just write down, well, my x. Now, if my my line is going to the left, if the left side is the one that's on top, my symbol has to go to the left side. Okay? And then you're just going to count. You can just count the marks. For example, mine is like 3. So if I move over here to the 3, I just want to double check. If I push 3, enter. So it jumps right at the 3 part. So I know that the jump happens when x is less than 3. All right. Now yours is different, guys. If there's a line under yours, keep the line under it. Okay? But all you have to do when you put in the calculator, if it's on the left side, it points to the left. If it would be on the right side over here, you would flip the sign and go the other way. All right, so I'm going to skip a little bit around. Let's go to number 6. All right, number 6. So you have this. You're going to put this in y equals, but you need to move the 7 to the back part. All right, so you're going to go ahead. This is a plus 7. It becomes a minus 7. So let me go ahead and type that in with you here in the calculator. I'm going to type it in. Go to y equals. All right, and then you're going to have negative 3 parentheses. X minus 4 parentheses, and then we have a minus 7. So this one is the one on the test. Just go ahead and put that. All right. This is a negative, that's a minus, and a minus. Push the trace button, trace. Now, what does this graph look like? A linear graph looks like a straight line. A quadratic looks like a U shape. An exponential is like a curve shape. And absolute value looks like a V with like a point. So you tell me which one of those it is. That's for number 6. All right, I'm on number 6. Now, you can use these same notes for number 12, I believe. If you go all the way to number 12, let me show you. There you go. So number 12, it says, which one of those is a linear function? So look at the pictures to see which one of those is going to look like a linear function, a line. Now, there are some. Let's go to the last ones, 13 and 14. 13 and 14, you have to use these notes, right? So you don't have to worry about which direction the graph is going. You just have to look at the symbols. So on number 13, all right, look at your question. This is a dotted line. If it's a dotted line, that means that you have to use one of these symbols. So look at your answers. If it has these symbols, you have to get rid of them. All right, and then the next, once we're done picking those, all right, eliminate those first. Now we have to talk about the shading. So if it's less than or equal to, it shades on the bottom part. If it's greater than or equal to or greater than, it shades on the top part. So I know just by looking at my graph, everyone look at your graph, right? This is coming from the top. It's shading on the top. So I know it has to be one of these symbols because it shades on the top. And then, is it a dashed line or a regular line? All right, let's look at the graph. You use the same notes for number 14, the same thing on number 14. Look at the symbol. This one is going the other way. Now they actually give you the symbol. That's my symbol right here. Well, according to that, look at your notes. What kind of line am I using, and what type of shading am I using? That is what you have to look for number 14. All right.